AT&T logo was actually on his sponsorship, was actually on a golf bag when he was golfing. Other than that, all the Tiger Woods did was host an AT&T golf, basically an AT&T golf championship, series. Other than that, they really have no ties. It's not like Tiger Woods is on AT&T saying, my 3G calling area is, he really wasn't a pitch man on TV or anything like that for him. But, per se, Tiger Woods eats his own. Now, my thoughts on Tiger Woods is I look back at it and review, well, let's just say it's 12 plus women and counting. And listen, by any stretch of the imagination, I'm no person to talk on the subject. But here's the thing. You can get away with one woman. You can get away with two women. Possibly. I wouldn't do it, but you could. But here's the thing. Sooner or later in today's society, you're going to get caught. A, you have $1 billion. What the hell are you thinking? Okay? You have $1 billion and you think nobody's going to talk? You think nobody out there in this economy is struggling? You think nobody's going to go to the National Enquirer and be like, hey, by the way, I slept with Tiger Woods. And I can tell you from unconfirmed sources, folks, that I've heard here in Orlando, Florida, since I'm very close to the situation, I can tell you that I have heard reports from unnamed sources that have more women on the horizon than just 12. I know one person in particular that has said, hey, listen, I know 5 or 6 other girls that have been with them that just haven't come forward. So 12 have come out of the bag, but there's probably another 30 or 40? And now that is the question. The question is, do you really love women or do you just really have a problem? Now that's the question. Because sometimes it can be a problem. 30, 40, 12, it's a little bit too much. Alright, now that's my beef on Tiger Woods. Just a crazy game sport altogether. Looking at some of the bowl games, Air Force beat Houston. Does that surprise anybody in today's bowl game? Does that surprise anybody? Has anybody heard the news here in Florida, at least here in Orlando, that Fox is technically, I don't even know if they're going to be on the air tomorrow here in Orlando, Florida, through Bright House, because their contract's up. So whether or not I'll actually be able to watch the Sugar Bowl will be quite surprising. So we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. In other college bowl news today, Oklahoma beat Stanford. Now, that really doesn't surprise me. What surprised me out of this football game right here is that Stanford was actually as close as they were. I mean, Oklahoma 31, Stanford 27. Hey, you really can't go wrong with that. I mean, if you're Stanford. Stanford's program under Jim Harbaugh over the past couple of years has really turned around. I mean, there's a lot of good things going on in Stanford. Stanford's one of those schools that was, at one point in time, and I really don't think they are now, but at one point in time, Stanford was, the Ivy League school of the West. Are they now? Probably not. The only unfortunate part about this game is Stanford was actually ranked 21st in the nation, and Oklahoma wasn't even ranked. So Oklahoma has been marred by injuries to pretty much everybody and anybody in their, basically everybody. The quarterback, offensive line. Everybody's been hurt from Oklahoma. I predict Oklahoma to come back next year with force. Oklahoma is going to be really good next year. Stanford's going to be really good next year. The only part about Stanford is going to be losing the main running back. They're going to be losing Gerhardt to the NFL. Okay? Gerhardt had 32 carries for 135 yards and 2 TDs. This kid, after watching him today, is a stud. Okay? This kid, Toby Gerhardt, we'll be talking about on Sunday. This kid, you should want on any NFL team that you choose. Now listen, I live here in Florida. I'm a Bucs fan. But let me tell you something right now. The Bucs need pretty much every position, okay? And that's not a crack on them. It's just a fact. Unless we get Bill Cowher in here to coach this team and really start developing our players and turning them around, I really don't know. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what develops. But look for Toby Gerhart to go very high in the first round of the NFL draft next year. Now, in this game, you had some crazy development. Okay, it just was crazy. I mean, you had freaking Royals throwing for some massive yardage. Royals threw for 418 yards and 3 TDs. That's just crazy.